I kind of want to share with you my first day here in Minneapolis for Celebration. Hey everybody, welcome back to Prince's Friend, exploring music through Prince. You can already hear my voice is going because my first day at Celebration was insane, and I have so much to tell you about what happened in just one day, and I think I flew in at about 2, so technically half a day. Before I jump into that, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit like on this video, check me out on social media at PrincessFriendYT, and check out the Patreon, patreon.com/princessfriend. Okay, the day started off pretty interestingly. I flew into the Minneapolis airport, and of course, something happened with the rental car and Stone, so he was, we had some scheduling issues with him coming and picking me up, but while I was there, I got recognized a couple of times, so that was interesting. I was like, okay, that was nice. Like, it wasn't overwhelming. It was just a few people who kind of noticed. They were like, oh, Prince's Friend, that's so nice. And a couple of them, I hope that I will be able to see them later on, and I think that'll be nice. So that was really nice. Then we went and we grabbed some food. We came to the Moxie. That's where I'm staying. This is actually... my room is really nice. Like, this hotel is like super nice. Like, not only is it stylish and stuff downstairs, but the rooms themselves, they're not that big, but I mean, it's just me, so it doesn't need to be that big. But the cool thing, and I'm sure you can see it here, well, you can see the guitar. They give you a guitar and they give you an amp, so that if you just feel like spontaneously playing some music, you just can. It's in the room. I'm like, that's some dedication to music right there. I think that that's really, really cool, and it really puts them apart. It makes them... they're different. So we come into the Moxie, and then I'm like, okay, so what do we want to do? We have a little bit before the MPG meet and greet, which was last night, and we wanted to do something. So I've shared on here before that pretty much the only thing that I didn't get to do last year, and I'll probably end up doing some stuff again, but the only thing I didn't get to do last year was go to the Graffiti Bridge. So I did go to the Graffiti Bridge. Me and Stone went. The photo in the thumbnail is me and Stone, and there's an amazing painting of Prince made up of Prince love symbols. And it's just immaculate, and you get such a great shot. I also met a really amazing artist there. His name was Dan Lacey, and he was the one that took the shot of me and Stone walking down the hall. He also shared with us a lot of really cool information about like the local art scene and what he does, and you can check him out. He's on Twitter and stuff. He's Dan Lacey, Painter of Pancakes. I don't know the connection of Painter of Pancakes, but he does some really great Prince portraits, so he's also Painter of Prince, apparently. It's just not part of his name. So there's that. When we were done there, and I actually took some footage and stuff at Graffiti Bridge, and that will be a separate video, but it was a really nice video. The interesting thing is that we got recognized twice while we were at Graffiti Bridge too, once going there and then one while we were there. But it was like we were really the only people there, which was kind of weird. I was expecting more people, but maybe most people are flying in today. I'm not really sure. We did fly in a day early, so that was, it was fun. Coming back to the hotel after going to Graffiti Bridge, we ran into an ongoing party down in the lobby for a kid named Aiden. And if you've been following, I'm a member of a bunch of different Facebook groups, but one of them is Forever in Our Lives. That's one that I interact with quite a bit, and there were a bunch of members of that group down there, and they planned this whole thing for a kid who was super into Prince, and he got out of surgery, and he was like, Prince was singing to me when I got out of surgery, and he started singing and he is just like such a really cool kid, so much energy. His name was Caden, and I got to meet his parents and everything. And some of the people who were organizing, they were like, oh my god, would you want to interview him? And I'm like, yeah, I'll interview him. It's like, he seemed like a really cool kid, and I had seen, he did like some stuff on like, the local Fox stations and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I would love to hear his story. And he was just so just energetic and just so excited. Like, oh my gosh, he was super excited to be here, and that was great. Of course, he wasn't staying for Celebration. He left this morning, so he was here like a week before everybody started showing up. But I was glad that I got to run into him. And then I went up to the New Power Generation meet and greet, and the New Power Generation meet and greet was really fun. Not only did I get to meet the MPG, which was nice. Morris Hayes came over and he was like, dude, I watched some of your videos, man. You do good stuff. And I'm like, but I also got to talk with Josh Dunham, and I was like, dude, like, I love what you do, dude. You do great stuff. So, you know, so me and him, hopefully I'll get to talk to him at a later date. He was really, really nice. But also I got to run into Chloe Calvin, and she is super awesome and has an amazing accent. I think it's better in person than it is. I don't know why it would be different, but it just kind of was. But in person, really, really cool person. Oh man, and I met the organizer. I believe his name was Lane. It was loud. I believe his name was Lane, and he was the organizer of the UK Purple Prince parties. And so I got to meet like a bunch of people who. It was weird, right? Because I ran into people who I was interested in seeing who were not the MPG, but they were also at the MPG thing. I also got to run into the hosts of All the Critics Love You in New York, and it was interesting because they interviewed the MPG, and it was cool. And then I got to interview the MPG right after them. So look out for that. I'm going to have an interview. Oh, that's the next thing. I interviewed the MPG. I got to interview Tony and Morris and Mackenzie, and that was a really, really cool interview that got done last night. So all of that talking, now my voice is already going. I'm sure you guys can hear it. This is not what I normally sound like. I'm actually kind of excited for Paisley tonight, where I get to kind of just get to relax my voice, and I get to kind of sit and listen to the panels and all of that stuff. So I'm kind of interested in that aspect of it, because I get to rest my voice a bit. But then we came back, and then all of the news started popping off about the new Prince album, The Originals. So I had to record that video. And let me tell you what went into recording that video. First off, I recorded for like, the length of the video was pretty close to how long I did it. There was very little editing involved in that video, and it was because I think I knew what I wanted to say. And of course, with news stuff, I'm mostly reading it anyway. But Stone was just in the room just laughing at me the whole time. He was hilarious. If you haven't watched that video, go watch it, because the new album seems like it will be very interesting. I don't know if I'm super excited about it, but, going to sleep and waking up, I'm reflecting now a little bit. I don't think I'm all the way meh. I think I'm halfway excited, because there really were a few of those tracks that I really, really want to hear. But I also feel like it's mostly the direction and the execution, the timing, what was stated beforehand, because there's like an expectation when you say never before heard, and you say straight from the vault. When you say these catchphrases, they create a certain expectation. So in my mind, I was like, so it's going to be Crystal Ball 2, or it's going to be Hit and Run 3, or it's going to be something new, or it might even just be like the Vault album that Warner Brothers put out, The Old Friends for Sale, which were a whole bunch of songs that before that time we had never heard, or I had never heard at least, but they weren't just Prince's versions of the songs that he wrote for other people. I don't know, it just seems like that was such an easy swing, but at the same time, I think it's going to be super popular. So I definitely understand the choice. I think it's going to be super popular. Hopefully they sell millions of copies, and it'll be wonderful. So then I was supposed to go to the Star Party. I was invited out by DJ Alfonso Starr and Martin Kemper, who were the organizers of that party, and then I realized how old I was, and you know, they always say like you're only as old as you feel, and yeah, like last night I was feeling real old. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I ended up I grabbed some like a late like snack so I can have something in my tummy, and then I went to sleep. Sorry, DJ Alfonso Starr. I will try to. I really kind of want to see you at some point this weekend. Hopefully, I get to. But yeah, so that was my Wednesday. That was my day one, and that again was like half a day. It was Graffiti Bridge, hanging out with Caden, the kid who was here, and I love just meeting kids who were into Prince. Like it gives me hope for the next generation. And then the NPG meet and greet, and then getting to interview members of the NPG. Like I even told them, I'm like, I don't know what the rest of Celebration Week is gonna be like if this was day one. You know, so and they're a huge part of that. So I definitely want to thank Mr. Hayes, Tony, and Mackenzie Green for being on my show, and I think it's going to be really, really awesome when I get to take that footage and edit it. We had a really cool setup, a 3-camera setup like we normally do, but we had Nick, who was there, and he was manning the camera, and he was moving anytime I would ask a question, and he would pan to that person, and I got some really cool questions. You know, and you guys know what I like to do is I like to try and throw out questions that they've never heard before, and I think I got them on a couple. So they seemed to have a good time. I definitely had a good time, but it was easy for me to have a good time just because. I was interviewing some of, the people that I've been listening to forever. Like, that was one of the things is, and I'll give away a little bit here. When I asked, I said, whose idea was it to come together? And they were like, well, it was Mr. Hayes, but like there were so many different iterations of the MPG that he really wanted to kind of get together the original MPG and try and get that sound back, because that was the sound that that ushered him in and did his thing. And I was like, yeah, like, getting into Prince in 1990, like the MPG, that's my band, so I was completely on board with that entire sentiment, and I completely get what he was trying to say. So with all of that said, that is day one, and day one is already pretty bonkers. And I think this is probably what I'm going to end up doing is recording the following morning what I did the day before. I think trying to do it that night or whatever, unless something big happens, as you know, like happened last night, or my reaction to Live on the Big Screen last year, stuff like that. But I think what I'm going to try and do is really try to do it the next morning, and then I can wake up and I can get myself ready, and then I can talk to you guys, upload it, and then go on with the rest of my day. What I will say on top of that is I really do hope that you enjoy all of this coverage that I'm doing for Celebration 2019. It's pretty cool. The Violet Reality got to officially cover it, and they're doing similar like vlog style things to this, but you should also check theirs out, because I'm sure their experience will be different from my experience. They got passes, they're meeting different people than I am and all that stuff. So those are the me and them, as far as I know, we're the two who are going to be covering Celebration. So definitely follow them, and they're official, so they might even get stuff that I don't get because I'm off doing this thing and they're going to be over here doing this thing, all official like. But no, for me, it's I am here, I am having an amazing time already. Again, if you are enjoying these Celebration 2019 videos, you want to definitely follow me on all my social medias and whatnot. I've also been posting things here and there, mostly on Twitter, but I did some Instagram. I did some Facebook. So I'm kind of bouncing around on the different platforms, but I am out there. I'm putting stuff out there, and I'll be sharing some more pictures and photos and stuff probably today from yesterday that I was able to take and be in, which was nice. So with that said, may you live to see the dawn. I look forward to bringing you another video tomorrow for day 2. I'm excited for it, and I hope you are too. So you have a great one, and I'll see you later.